Hello, I'm Orange Cat, and this is my analysis of Toonami's ratings from September 29th, 2019. I did a video last week, I believe, about my analysis of the schedule, which is pretty new for Toonami, 7 whole hours. And if you recall from that video, I actually said that I thought it was going to be a great idea. I thought the schedule was well done, it was conducive to great ratings, and I might have been horribly wrong at that. For example, Dragon Ball Z Kai, usually the ace in the hole for Toonami, only got a .21. That's not good. That's not good at all. Hell, if you put Family Guy there, as much as I hate Family Guy personally, it might even get double that. It's just sad to look at that. But anyhow, like My Hero Academia moved from 10:30 to 9:30, and it went down a touchdown. It went down to .21. That's not a nice number to see. Naruto getting shoved way up to 10 p.m. went up 200s. It's a show that's very consistent. Like it's always going to get a high .1 or low .2, and it's been stable at that for a long time, and that stability holds even in this new spot. We have Boruto, interesting. The new show comes in ahead of Shippuden. So the show that's the sequel in a way, the Shippuden, premieres better than that week's episode of Shippuden. Interesting to see. I think a lot of people just kind of maybe this is a bad sign for Shippuden that people kind of gave up on it by watching Boruto. Since if you know from Boruto, very early on, you get a lot of spoilers of how Shippuden ends. Yeah, and that's just my analysis. It's interesting to see where we go from here with Naruto and Boruto's ratings, whether they stay up there, do very well, or if they plummet. Fully Coolly went down. It got the very favorable lead in Dragon Ball Super, which in itself had a bad night for its standards. Went down to just being .3. That's definitely not a number you would see, but one you would kind of expect given it got shifted back in the schedule. I believe it also had the lowest ratings ever had on Toonami. The lowest total viewers, I mean, not ratings. I think Dragon Ball Z has actually gotten to a .2 something before. But it's just very disheartening to see, like I said, Dragon Ball doing as poorly as it did, considering it was the ace in the hole for the block. Fully Cool, your biggest investment dropping to .17. That's sad to see. Attack on Titan was, of course, going to drop because it got shifted to a far less favorable spot. But I still think this means that it has a devout fan base. I don't think it's going to drop lower than a .18, maybe to a .17. It's got a very devout fan base, and the more hype episodes, like I've said, are going to come later in the season. And we might see a small ratings bump when we get to those episodes. So I'm a little optimistic about that. You have JoJo, who had an amazing week last week for its standards. It went back down to earth a bit, .17. Not the best number to see, but it's had worse weeks when it was paired up with Pop Team Epic. So I think JoJo is going to benefit in the long run from having Attack on Titan, which is a lot less controversial show in the Toonami community with there, but it didn't have the best week this week. Black Clover, Black Clover holding steady. It got the benefit of being shifted up 30 minutes this week. I think it might end up being the winner of this week purely because it didn't lose. But no. Hunter x Hunter, we're getting into the really hype episodes of the Chimera Ant arc, and unfortunately it dropped, albeit it didn't plummet, so at least it's good news from that perspective. Gotta look at the bright side when you see some of these ratings. .17 appears to be the motif of Toonami today. You have One Punch Man, not the best of days, but it didn't plummet. Lupin the Third, Bebop, and Samurai Jack with low numbers. Samurai Jack, I would have expected a little bit of an uptick going into it because a lot of people seemed really ecstatic that they were starting with the very beginning of the series instead of just starting over season 5 again. And I thought I would have seen maybe a point like go up to like a .14, maybe even a .15, but that's a little disappointing to see. Now, again, if you look at these ratings, you're like, oh, they all went down. They're all horrible. And yes, they did. But at the same time, you really can't say they're horrendous. I mean, the rest of TV is shit right now. And especially late Saturday nights, Toonami is still blowing every network out of the water, especially with the most coveted demographic for Toonami, males aged 12 to 34. So it's not like this is the end of Toonami. We're losing 5 hours. Look, calm down. It's gonna be fine. They're at least gonna keep with the 7 hour experiment for a little while longer. It has a lot of really good shows, really hype, a lot of hype shows, and you have the Tower of Power, Tournament of Power arc concluding in super soon, and then you have, of course, Fully Cooley getting to its conclusion. A very well received show for Toonami. My Hero Academia is starting to really get up there in their tournament arc. And then you have, some excitement for Boruto starting. Like I said, that's a well, it'll be interesting to see where it goes from here. I think it'll drop a little, personally. You have Attack on Titan, like the same thing. Like it's slow right now, but it's gonna really kick up soon. JoJo, it's still towards the start of a 40 episode arc. So it's not like, we got spoiled by the Stardust Crusaders this summer because we got the ending. We got the most hyped episodes in the entire series. But I digress. Black Clover is starting to build. You have Hunter x Hunter, like I said, that Chimera Ant arc. And look, there's a lot of room. There's a lot of potential for them to pick up ratings again, to pick back up some ratings. So this isn't the end of the world. It's not good news. It's far from being great news, but at the same time, I don't think this is the end of the world. I am Orange Cat. That is all.